Alrighty guys, we're back for Mini Reanimator, and this is an Outlaws of Thunder Junction standard brew, and I'm Redcat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We got the new Geralf here. This is a 3 mana, 2/3 legendary creature. Whenever you cast a spell during your turn, other than your first spell that turn, create a 2/2 blue and black zombie rogue creature token. And whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on it for each other zombie that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. That is pretty sick, dude. So we do have other zombies packed in to work with the Geralf, like Undead Butler here. It's a 2 mana 1/2. When it ETBs, you mill 3 cards. When it dies, you may exile it. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So this is going to keep our graveyard nice and stocked up, be able to actually do the mini reanimations, which of course we'll go over in just a second. More zombies. Champion of the Perished making the cut as a 4 of a 1 mana 1/1. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of the Perished. Going to pair beautifully with that top end Geralf. It's funny to call that 3 mana card a top end, but hey, I call it mini for a reason, huh? So how are we going to be reanimating these creatures? Well, we got Helping Hand in here as a 4 of. It's a 1 mana sorcery speed. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, however. So yeah, comes out tapped, but that's all fine and dandy because you're bringing back something very powerful for just 1 mana. We also have Call a Surprise Witness here, so it's a 2 mana sorcery. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. This time it's not tapped, so that's pretty cool. And you also put a flying counter on it. It's a spirit in addition to its other types. Awesome. I do think like having some of these gain flying is going to be excellent in here. So we do have a couple of recommissions as well. It does the exact same thing, except for instead of a flying counter, it is a +1/+1 counter. Yep, it's going to be completely fine. More ways to keep our graveyard nice and stocked with these creatures that we want to reanimate. A couple Bitter Triumphs, going to be excellent removal. You call discard a lot of the time, and then you discard the card that you want to reanimate. Nice. Other ways to keep the graveyard stocked, we have like Consider, of course, with the Surveil. We do have Tempo Play with Fading Hope. That's going to be good. It kind of acts as a way to protect your own creatures too. So I have 3 steps ahead in here as our choice counterspell, and also just like utility all around. 3 steps ahead has been pretty good so far. And I've actually been enjoying playing it too. As far as like blue cards go, and as far as counter spells go, yeah, I actually really enjoy 3 steps ahead. So as that middle ability here with that spree cost for a +3, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control. And some of these wouldn't mind being copied at all. Also just acting as card draw, and then you can discard a card too. So more ways to put important things into the graveyard. Yeah, I like 3 steps ahead. So what are the other top end creatures outside of the Geralf that we're actually reanimating here? Well, we have Monastery Mentor, of course. It's a 3 mana 2/2. As that prowess, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess onto the battlefield. Very nice. We also have 3 Haughty Djinns in here too. Going to be excellent, of course. Just like, how many games are won by Haughty Djinn? How many games have we won with Haughty Djinn? And I barely play blue. It's kind of silly, huh? It's a very powerful card. Okay, the mana base, guys. First of all, not too many honorable mentions today. I had a whole stocked sideboard of honorable mentions because I do think there's a lot of interesting ways we could try to put Mini Reanimator together. I ended up just dropping them all because I just wanted to bring up Rafine's Tower. I'm actually opting for no tapped land in here, so it just like early land only. We're trying to do the thing very fast, so just wanted to bring up the tower, of course. So in the mana base, we have the Seat of the Empire, Soaring City, and Abandoned Mire as our utility lands, and then our dual lands, like I said, fast land only. Have a couple wastes. We have all 4 Seachrome Coasts. We have all 4 Concealed Courtyards. Beautiful. We have all 4 Slickshot Shores, and we do have 1 underground river too, as well as a couple islands. So yeah, we're just opting for everything to be as fast as possible. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how we do. All right, right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I think it's going to be good. and I'm scared. I'm terrified, man. I've been having a real rough time actually getting my decks to work, but I have high hopes in this one. I think it's going to be great, but we'll see. We'll see. This starting hand is fine. I think we'll be able to find the white source relatively easy. I think we keep this. The removal's fine. The consider definitely helps us find the white source we need, surveil whatever we don't need. And the opponent goes first here, so we are on the draw. We could see the white mana right away. Yep, we keep it. Spyglass Siren. Nice. Haughty Djinn. Okay, not bad. We'll keep the consider open because if they counter the consider, then that's just like good for us. Much better to do the consider on the opponent's turn. They swing for 1. Like they got Mire colors over there. See what they do with this consider. Probably nothing. Like I said, if they... Oh, Fairy Mastermind. Okay, Helping Hand. It's not a white source. We should send it. Yeah. I don't think that's going to do too much for us right now. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. We are apparently just playing Mire for now. And that's fine. Nothing in our hand actually requires it. Go Undead Butler and hopefully not mill away all of our white sources. Oh, no, guys. Well, that kind of sucks, huh? That's not great. We go ahead, swing in the air. Probably keep the 3 open. Nope, Preacher comes down. We do have a turn to get the Haughty Djinn on the board, I suppose. Champion of the Perished. Oh, buddy, everything's a little out of order here, huh? I mean, without... It's not like we have protection for the Haughty Djinn in hand anyways, and the opponent's tapped out, so we might as well, like, get this down while we can. It blocks in the air really nicely. The problem is, like, removal in Mire is probably abundant. I'm assuming the Haughty Djinn's gonna die. And as far as reanimation goes, if we see any reanimation off the top, we just don't have those white sources. Crap, guys, crap. Maybe it was a mulligan. Let's get that Haughty Djinn back to hand off the Butler here. And then with 4 mana, we could go Champion of the Perished, Haughty Djinn, or keep a 1 mana Bitter Reunion open as well, which we might want to do. Recommission, okay. Abandoned Mire. I think Soaring City is going to be the utility of choice for this match. 1 mana Bitter Reunion could go right now before they counter it, but at the same time, them spending mana on a counter for the... Oh, Bitter Triumph, by the way. I think I've been calling this Bitter Reunion since it came out. That's pretty funny. There's just so many bitter things in Standard. How am I supposed to keep track, you know? Let's just play our creatures. Let's just get the creatures onto the board and see what we end up seeing off the top. Unfortunately, without our 3rd source on the board, I think it's going to start heavily leaning towards the opponent anyways, regardless of our fancy pants spot removal. Like, yeah, taking out the Preacher of the Schism could be pretty good, but it might just get countered anyways. On that turn, they happened to be tapped out, so we had a chance to get Champion of the Parish down too. That we just took the opportunity. I kind of talked myself into it, is what ended up happening there. They just swing with Preacher, so they don't have removal for the Haughty Djinn right now. We're just going to take that too, no worries. Champion of the Perished can easily climb above a 1/1. Deep Cavern Bat, probably just... I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because if they take a Triumph, we could just use the other Triumph to get the first Triumph back. That's a lot of discarding. If we do end up using both of the Triumphs, though. Even a white source off the top isn't that great for us, unfortunately. Oh, we could use Soaring City, bounce the bat, but then, of course, the bat comes back down, so the ETB works in their favor. The Preacher of the Schism. Scary business, man. Very scary. Undead Butler. Let's see what we end up milling. Probably more of our white sources. Oh no! No! I was joking! Game! Why? Oh, the Geralf in the grave is pretty good, but... That's brutal, dude. The mill is rough. And we didn't even buff the Djinn one bit. Okay, so the discard is the Recommission, I would assume. Right? Right. We could swing with the Djinn. Block with the Butler on the ground would be the Geralf back to hand. Let's see what the opponent has, right? We should pass it back, I suppose. And just see what ends up happening. A similar concept, like a counter on the Bitter Triumph isn't like the end of the world, as we might actually be able to do some other things then too. Only one go for the throat from the opponent so far. They're powering up that reef? Oh no. Actually, the mill for us might actually be pretty good. We're gonna let the swing go through and see what the mill actually does, right? Well, they're gonna mill themselves. Oh. Well, that's not great then, is it? And they know we have the Bitter Triumph. They're not concerned about losing a... They're not concerned about losing the reef. Take out the bat first. If that's what we want to do. I don't even know if that's worthwhile, though. We have to trade into the reef, actually, if we want to do the Haughty Djinn route. We will discard the Soaring City. Maybe get rid of one of their... I guess it doesn't really matter here, right? We're gonna get rid of a couple things, though. I guess at that point, we could still chump with the Butler, too. Trade into the reef. They lost 2 cards. We lost 2 cards. No, 3 cards because we had to discard. Either way, I think this is going to be heavily leaning towards the opponent here, as we are struggling a little bit to get what we need to see onto the board. Also, if we grab the Geralf back, it's not... Well, I'm going to grab the Geralf because that was kind of like the main build around for this one. A white source, let's go. Even so, the Haughty Djinn was probably the better pick because we don't have like the second spell to cast with the Geralf, right? So... All right, let's end up seeing what happens here. As they have 4 in the air, we're at 11. The Preacher's still going to swing. Luckily, their Restless Reef is gone. Oh, no. They're going to restock their hand so well here. Dude, they were waiting for that Gix, huh? Okay. Let's just take the damage. I'm not sure there's actually going to be a way through here. Down to 5, draw 4. Probably just a couple, right? They probably go up to 7, and, well, I guess they don't care if they discard. Because they milled themselves with the reef, so they don't mind having cards in the grave then at that point, you know? So Deep Cavern Bat takes the Recommission, and that is probably the nail in the coffin. Even if we saw something absolutely tremendous there. Like, Recommission was going to grab the Haughty Djinn. Oh, Fading Hope. That's pretty good, right? Yeah, dude, that's really good. So we have 4 mana open after the fact here. So we bounce the first bat. That's 1 spell. We'll drop that land. Bitter Triumph, take the 3, kill the bat. That's a zombie. Buffs the other zombie. Then Recommission. Grab the Haughty Djinn. Another zombie. Buffs the first zombie. That's sick stuff, dude. Unfortunately, we die in the air anyways, but that's what we're trying to do, man. Very, very cool. We'll still save everything for blocks anyways, but The opponent also has a fully stocked hand. Unfortunately, just not seeing that white source. We could have mulliganed. We milled 4 white sources here at the beginning off of the Undead Butler, so that's definitely something to consider, right? Yeah, either way, full swing in the air gets them there. We had to take the 3 from the Bitter Triumph. I guess we could have just brought the Recommission back and not taken the 3. I still think we had a strong chance of just dying regardless. They go ahead and take care of the Geralf there. So we'll block the Fairy Mastermind, block the Preacher, and that's all we can block, unfortunately. No reach over here. Good game, opponent. Not bad, dude. Not bad. I think our deck, once... Well, first of all, once we got that white source, of course, like, we were going to actually do a better thing. The opponent playing some good old-fashioned Dimir. Looks very powerful. Kind of felt like a Dimir tempo, but I can't really call it Dimir tempo, can I? I don't even know what to call it, actually. It actually feels pretty aggressive. Maybe it is Dimir tempo. Guess that would make sense. I feel like that Gix came down at the right time. Kind of felt like they were just holding on for that, waiting for those air attackers to actually get through after they have removal. Or the Haughty Djinn, you know? Ooh, all 3 mana sources in our opening hand, and we go first. Hi. What's this about? I like it. We have the discard with the Bitter Triumph. Discard Geralf, bring it back with Recommission. Guess we don't have to do that. We'll probably just end up playing out the Geralf instead, right? We'll see what they do though. Gonna be a proving ground. Okay. So some domain, huh? I've been really struggling against domain builds. We'll see if we can actually pull off a thing here. The big issue, of course, now with domain is, of course, they end up exiling most things. We'll start with the swing, see if they remove the champion. I doubt it, as they'd want to save this for something better, like our 3-drop. And Geralf is likely going to hit an exile, unfortunately, against domain. But that doesn't mean we won't see another Geralf this game. Leyline Binding, right on time. Alright, so Binding number 1 is out of the opponent's deck. Generally speaking, they do end up seeing multiple bindings, just how their deck is set up to see a lot. Especially the up the beanstalk style ones too. We do have to anticipate more of those. Splunking for the turn. Let's see if they hit a cave. They do not. Recommission. Well, Recommission isn't bad. Unfortunately, most of the removal in the opponent's deck is going to be exile anyways. Like, the next thing to worry about once we stock up the board is going to be Sunfall. Flunking. Wait a minute. Oh, they completely missed a mana last time. They might miss again, guys. Okay, they don't miss this turn. Oh, there they go. So I guess they just didn't play an extra thing last turn, or this turn they drew a card and then drew an extra land off the Splunking too. That's possible. Fading Hope. Oh boy. Not great. not a great lineup at all here, as the opponent has given us nothing to actually remove or bounce or anything. They have a lot of land, and all of it's coming in untapped now too, so. Oh, okay. This is a significant amount of ramp, guys. The survey grabbing a couple proving grounds. Very nice. So they look at the top 7 there and grab the lands. All right, passing back. We need a good draw here. Helping Hand. Oh, no. What do you guys suppose? Should I have held the Geralf back? As we were very much anticipating it to be exiled. I don't know what we would have held it back for, though. Like, waiting until we had a counter spell in hand? That doesn't seem great, right? Fading Hope could have bounced it back to our own hand, but then, like, Leyline Binding number 2 could just easily come down. Archangel, poke the champion, poke our face. We could bounce champion, get a scry. Fading Hope not doing too much else here. But also, like, we're going to be bringing stuff back with the recommission anyways, I would say. I think we'll take the 3 on the Bitter Triumph instead of discarding anything too. Like, we could easily discard here, but I think it's just like, take 3, especially when Domain can easily restock their hand. Just having more in hand is going to be better than our life for now, I would say. Okay. So the tapped land isn't terrible. It's going to be Recommission over the Helping Hand for now. Just because we have the open mana anyways, right? And an extra counter on the Champion of the Perished isn't bad. We still have Fading Hope now too. Fading Hope just doesn't do too much against all the ETB effects in Domain, unfortunately. Yeah, so far. Oh, there's the Up the Beanstalk. Yeah, so far things haven't been lining up, but I still believe in the deck, guys. I really do. I think it can really do a thing, so hopefully we get to see a little bit more. There's a Sunfall. I will gladly bounce the champion back to hand here. I guess it could be Leyline, but that would be a pretty bad pickup for the Leyline. There we go. Some of our top end guys. We do have 10 of our top end creatures here that we consistently want to see. So 1/6 of the entire deck. We already saw a Geralf, so I guess at that point we were just slightly overdue for another one. So Sunfall number 2 would be devastating. But I think we still take the risk. We still play everything. And like I said at the beginning of this game too, like once one Leyline Binding hits, it's still like very likely that there's going to be more, especially in a deck that restocks its hand so nicely. We're going to keep Seat of the Empire as utility still, because we don't need this much mana at this point in the game too. So if it was Leyline Binding number 2, they might have just let us keep this because of Sunfall number 2. That's not good, guys. That's not good. As a matter of fact, since we're so early in the video here too, I suppose we could concede. Let's wait until they drop a creature that's deadly enough. Stomper's pretty good. Yeah, because I want to see a couple more cards off the top, right? Because so far it's felt a little unlucky, but at the same time, I just really... Okay, we're going to do this on our turn. I really don't like blaming luck, though. Consider, huh? Okay. Okay, I'll go for it. This could have been a couple considers in a row could have been pretty sick with that Mentor on the board. Hey, there we go. Mentor number 2. And the Exile's brutal, man. Because we could have had, like, Mentor into Helping Hand, but now we just don't. Like, there's just no creatures in the grave. So I'm just going to keep Seat then. Again, as utility, and get the Mentor down. Since they have Stomper, they might just... I mean, Sunfall number 3 at this point is unlikely. If they want to remove this, then it would be that second binding. Oh, no. Restock the hand. Let's go one more turn. Let's see what's on the top here. But I do want to get as many matches in today as possible, and now I think this is heavily leaning towards the opponent. I don't even know how we could have possibly played around this, honestly. You know, the exile removal is just a little bit too much to deal with sometimes for these Reanimator style builds. So some really cool matchups for us would be like mono red. Like, how much can we slow them down, and then how many like really cool things can we do after they burn our creatures away? Of course, with mono red, bringing that up too, like, you know, once Kumano flips, that also exiles. So there's a lot of stuff that keeps things out of our graveyard. Is definitely noteworthy, to say the least. Calls Angel on the Cavern of Souls. Stomper number 2, I suppose playing this out, you know, honestly, it's not going to take the opponent too many turns because they have the incubators to power up too. They'll have 11 if we don't do something this turn. Haughty Djinn, not bad. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, that does mean Seat of the Empire isn't open, but it is what it is. Let's see what the opponent ends up doing here. They still have 3 mana in hand. It's going to be Leyline Binding number 3. Power up the incubators and have lethal on the board. At that point, we'll let the opponent swing on in too. Also, maybe they'll miss lethal with the incubators, but I highly doubt it. Oh, well, they didn't power him up. I think they had open mana still. I guess they can still power him up on their turn, but oh. I guess they missed lethal, huh? Oh, this doesn't have any counters on it. That's why. That's why. Yeah, we bounced the... They still get the incubator token off the Sunfall, but we bounced the... Our card back with the Fading Hope, so it didn't have any +1/+1 counters. That tricked me, honestly. I thought they had 3 power in the incubators. So Atraxa hits the board. We do get to see one more top deck here too, so it'll be interesting to see what we end up seeing. I feel like our 3 mana cards came too little too late. And then of course the triple Leyline Bindings completely taking them out of the equation. Double Sunfall. Very brutal stuff. Oh, there's the lethal. They found an Archangel. Oh, right. Good game, opponent. I didn't get a chance to drop them the GG. Pretty brutal stuff. I still believe in the deck fully, though. I think we can really do a thing, guys. And that's what we're going to try to do today. I think once the Geralf is established, I think the Geralf can be wild. I think that's going to do so much once it actually just survives a turn. What do you guys think? Have you guys played with the new Geralf yet? Let me know in the comments for sure. Also, while you're down there, guys, I should be saying this in the middle of the video more often. Make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link, of course, but we also have that Patreon link too if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. I highly recommend checking it out. One of the main benefits for the Patreon, of course, is prioritized suggestions. Right. We can't complain about this hand, right? The biggest complaint here is the opponent going first, but I don't think we can complain about the rest of it. Right? I hope. Gingerbrute coming down with an island. Ew. Okay, Concealed Courtyard. Probably just going to be playing out the Haughty Djinn when it comes time. I like the little zombie theme in here, but right now Champion of the Parish just kind of feels a little weak because like there aren't too many zombies packed in. Recommission. Okay, you love seeing all this reanimation stuff, but we just need to get more stuff into the grave too, huh? It's not bad, but there's a reason we only have 8 of these and then 10 of the 3 drops. Also, the mana base hasn't been holding us up in the last 2 games at all, so that's good news. Got 3 on the board. Luckily, it wasn't the Zoetek glyph for the turn, right? Oh, see, this would have been a really good turn, too. Undead Butler. We could just be seeing things out of order. They probably have a really good tempo play on the Haughty Djinn. So we're going to start with Champion of the Parish, and yeah, Undead Butler. Like, this is great, man. This would have been so good last turn. They still had the Fading Hope to bounce the champion anyways, but like, you know, we end up milling 3 here, and then with all this extra reanimation, like this is where we try to actually gain a lot of value over the opponents. What did we hit? Oh, Mentor. All right. Oh, there's the glyph. They're going in the air, dude. They're not playing around. They don't have the mana for the Gingerbrute, luckily. Down to 8. We're in danger, but let's see if we can pop off this turn, huh? Drop the land. Drop the Djinn. Take 1. Helping Hand. No. Nope. Call a Witness. For the flyer, right? Okay. Take 1 down to 7. Call a surprise witness. Monastery. It's another surprise blocker or emergency chump blocker in the air. We're probably going to need against the Disruptor. As far as on the ground goes, I think we can swing for 2. Because they can make it so that way the Ginger Brute can't be blocked. They could drop land, drop a Zoetic Glyph on the Ginger Brute, make it so that way it can't be blocked, and then we're like in danger. Okay, they still got 2 open. I'm nervous, guys. We need to survive this turn to start doing some really cool things with this Mentor. Oh no, Fading Hope, little bit of tempo. Do we just take the 6 then? Map tokens are sorcery speed anyways. Could still bring back the Mentor next turn if we chump here. We could chump Helping Hand. No. I'm just gonna take it. I think that even if we don't take the 5, we're still going to be in serious danger next turn anyways, so we still needed something for the Ginger Brute regardless, right? And so if we had to spend extra mana for like the Swift Spear and stuff, yeah, that makes the most sense to me, unfortunately. 3 steps ahead is pretty sick. With no creatures in the grave. Oh man, maybe it was chump. Maybe we could have survived 1 extra turn then. Maybe. Ooh, did you guys see that? Another Mentor. Almost said Swift Spear. Easy to get him mixed up, huh? So at that point, we just go for Recommission. Grab the other Mentor. Create a 1/1. And then, unfortunately, we have perished. Maybe I could have played it out much safer. So if we chumped last turn, we could have... Oh, we wouldn't have had a blocker in the air. Right. Yeah, because right now the only blocker in the air is the Mentor. So if we would have chumped, Recommission doesn't bring it back to the air. So we would have had to play like the Haughty Djinn back. So actually our best hope there was just for the opponent not to have the extra tempo with the Fading Hope, huh? I think so. Unfortunately. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, they tapped it down with the Disruptor. So yeah, no matter what, the 3's getting through. I was like, wait a minute. Why did they not activate the Ginger Brute ability? But no, now I see. Also, their other flyer would have gotten through anyways. Since, yeah, only 1 flyer in the air. That one kind of feels like my fault, right? I think so. I think we could have played that out a little better. Playing around the tempo that this style of mono blue brings to the table too. It's hard, but it's possible. Like it is possible to say like, well, this could get Fading Hoped on their combat or something like that, and try your dandiest to play around it then. Come on, guys. I believe in the list. I do. Let's see it do the thing. So far, though, we have to say that we have to put it on the do not craft list, right? Like, I would say that this is not worthy of the craft. Pretty expensive, too, overall. Well, all the top end is rare or mythic. No black source could be very dangerous. You know what, though? I say we're just going to continue testing the deck. Win or lose at this point, it's kind of like, you know, 3 losses in a row. We're still going to have to talk about what we could potentially change and whatnot, too. So, yeah, I guess it depends. We're going to test it. We're going to see if it can successfully draw the black mana as well. Opponent, are you there, buddy? Let's go ahead and pause until the opponent shows up. Oh, there they are. The opponent has arrived. Yeah, no turn 1, no turn 2. But we're gonna give it a shot, you know? We gotta put the deck through the test, through the limits. See what's possible, you know? So far, it's been some very tough, very uphill battles. Oh, opponent's playing some Golgari, I see. Seeing nothing off the top there. So any land off the top would have come in untapped for the Monastery Mentor. As that's how we built the mana base. To utilize the first 3 turns. Oh, Sunken Citadel. Maybe this is Golgari Turtles, huh? Champion of the Perished. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this was a mulligan so far, right? As far as like testing the deck to its absolute limits. This was definitely a mulligan so far. We will discard the Mentor. That way we can actually get it next turn. 4th mana comes down from the opponent. Maybe some ramp here. Kind of what I'm thinking. Uh-oh. I'll tempo that. Mana off the top is definitely something we want. We now have Recommission. I want to keep the Fading Hope open. I'm going to save this Call a Surprise Witness for now. Fading Hope is available. The Recommission gets around a cut down was a big thing there for us. With the +1/+1 counter. Since they had 1 black mana open. Spot removal would come down after the lookout. That way they can get some ramp off of the lookout. I'm going to tempo that. They're missing a land. We have a great opportunity here to get this monk down. It doesn't have haste or anything fancy. Consider on the top. It's really good. That's really, really good. Yeah, we keep it so that way the Mentor can kind of pop off if it gets the chance. Right, we could surveil like a creature, go call a Surprise Witness, cut down on the 1/1, I suppose, but like they would want to do that while the Free Strider was on the board. Maybe they missed it. Maybe they clicked through it. I click through things all the time on accident, so. Upon it. I'm on the edge of my seat, buddy. I'm on the edge of my seat. What's going on, opponent? I'm scared. Oh, they pass it back. Oh, they had to discard at the end. Oh, okay. That must have been a really tough decision for them then. See if our Surveil can be a creature card. That'd be pretty good for us. It is a creature. That Champion of the Perished into the grave. Okay, we do see more mana here, and we're going for it. We're going for it, dude. Wait. We could easily run into a board wipe next turn, right? 1, 2, 7. Okay, I changed my mind. We are just going to play Undead Butler for the turn. Maybe it should be Champion of the Perished instead, honestly. But since we have 2 open, it is a cut down. What on earth? Okay, well, I'm going to go for the Undead Butler. I know that we're not buffing the Champion of the Perished, but that's fine. Haughty Djinn. Okay. So this could be anyone's game, easily. Now that we actually have some stuff established, it's going to be Free Strider, Lookout, another cut down. Duress, actually. The way they looked at the Butler. The Butler's actually a pretty bad one to cut down too, huh? So Call a Surprise Witness is unfortunately gone, which is actually really bad as we don't get the prowess on the monks now. Oh my goodness. Consider is great. That is really good. Do we just go like second mentor first? Probably not, right? Same concept. We have to play around that board wipe. And we might see something better here. Recommission. All right, dude. We will recommission that Haughty Djinn. And we will full swing. They might take 8 here down to 8. Kill the Butler. We bring the other champion of the parish back. We don't play it because this is a very tempting board wipe if the opponent has it. They do go for the Butler, which we will take that action. Okay, a couple champion of the parish in hand. Pretty good hand to restock the board after a board wipe, if that is what it's going to be. They call green. They have 5 for the board wipe that we usually see. I can't remember the name of for the life of me. Gonna be go for the throw on the mentor, so they definitely want to hit this Haughty Djinn too. Because that's 9-5 in the air. With all these monks on the board, then anything on that can buff the prowess would be really good for us. And the opponent's back in this. Oh, that is really good. We got 6 on the monks now. So I will play the other mentor. Fading Hope the Lookout. Oh, I did not just use the auto tapper, guys. Did I? I did. Oh no. Is it still worth the swing? Get 2 through? I guess so. Guys, I hope we don't lose because of that. Because of the auto tapper. I guess I'll get the champion of the parish down then, even though playing around a board wipe sounds better. They haven't had the board wipe yet, and I feel like that's what they would have done last turn instead. Sheoldred. All right, that's a little better to bounce with the Fading Hope anyways. Another go for the throat. Bro, we're in danger, huh? I think they can easily pull this back. We missed so much damage last turn. Let's start with the Fading Hope on the Sheoldred so we're not taking 2. Get that prowess going through. What we see? It's going to be land. Not great, guys. We could full swing. They go... Okay. Okay. We go champion of the parish. Full swing. They probably take out champion of the parish. We go for the full swing because we got to go like... We got to push maximum amount of damage through every single turn. I'm really nervous that we're going to lose now because of the, because of my auto tapper mistake. But they would be at 2 right now anyways, right? We got 3 open. They have the blocks required here, unfortunately. So we actually need to see something off the top that isn't a land. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Bitter triumph. All right. Let's do this. Take out the Sheoldred. Prowess. And full swing. They need 2 pieces of removal here. GG opponent. We got there. Regardless of the auto tapper, be very careful about the auto tapper in a 3-color list, guys. I don't know why I actually let them tap my blue sources down. Holy cow, what a time, huh? I've been really struggling to get those victories, so that feels great. Oh man. Whew, whew. Okay. I guess we gotta call it jank, right? But boy oh boy did I believe in the list, and I still kinda do, honestly. Yeah, give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so I still thoroughly believed in the build. We got there. The big thing, man, that tempo with the Fading Hope was so excellent. Oh, buddy, let's take a look at the mana base again real quick here, as we got like a couple. So we have the Underground River and the Wastes as well. Just a couple things that are pinging damage to our face. The rest are just like the fast early game land. These felt really great, didn't they? And at any point too, so we're rocking 20 land total. That probably is about right for a build like this. I could also see 21, and honestly, I could see 19 land in here too. I think 20 is going to be a sweet spot for this one in particular, especially when we're going to be wanting to cast out multiple things on the same turn, as like the main build around was kind of Geralf here. So overall, okay, casting your second spell and beyond for multiple 2/2s kind of felt like we were going to need some more card draw, right? But you know a card we didn't really see much today? That was going to be the 3 steps ahead. And with the 3 steps ahead in here too, maybe the mana base is even a little greedy, as once you do some rearranging, once you actually consider the additional costs, that's a lot of 3 mana cards. But of course, we're not trying to spend all 3 mana on these creatures, as we're just trying to get them into the grave to actually be able to reanimate them. But which, by the way, the couple Surprise Witness and the couple Recommissions actually like the balance between the two. I think more often than not, the +1/+1 counter is probably going to do a little bit more for you for what we're trying to do. But like at the same time, there's so many things that we need to block in the air all the time. And the only flying creature in here is actually Haughty Djinn. And it wouldn't be unheard of to go ahead, call a Surprise Witness, give the Champion of the Perished flying, and then start boosting the Champion of the Perished with all the extra zombies from the Geralf. And maybe the zombie theme in here is a little bit greedy too. We have 8 total zombies, and then of course the Geralf is generating extra zombies for us as well. But also like the Undead Butler, I feel like it really fits the theme, but maybe like Champion of the Perished can be dropped down to like a 2 of, for example, go up like a cut down, and another Bitter Triumph. I could actually see that, and that actually makes the deck a little bit more budget friendly, but it is very much not a budget friendly build. Geralf being a mythic, Monastery Mentor being a mythic as well, Haughty Djinn being a rare, 3 steps ahead being rare, and then the mana base, of course, is completely swarmed by rares as well. If we drop down any amount of creatures, that is going to be less creatures that you actually are able to get into the grave and get out of the grave too, as we only have 18 creatures total. I could see 16 though. I think we are going to make that change now, since we did end up struggling quite a bit. I do think cut down will work out. And we do want to make sure we keep... Yeah, I don't want to have to change the mana base. So I want to keep the same ratio here. Got majority blue, then white, then black. I'm double checking the mana base. Technically, we could go up a different utility spot removal. What are we thinking? Get Lost? Get Lost could be good. That's going to be, like, I guess it would make more sense to actually have more removal in here that helps us put more things into the grave. So maybe it's going to be the 3rd Bitter Triumph. And I suppose it could be the 4th Bitter Triumph too. It's like with 20 mana, right? There's got to be moments where you actually do multiple things on the same turn efficiently. How did you guys like the mana base, by the way? Do we have a good split of everything? I think so. I think it was pretty good. Double blue on Djinn, double blue on 3 steps ahead when you're using it as a counter too. All that could technically hold us up a bit. I'm stuck between dropping the cut down, going up the 4th Bitter Reunion. I'm not really sure. Like, this hits creatures and planeswalkers as well. It's going to be a lot of moments. Instead of, like, milling the thing into our grave, you know? Like, there's going to be a lot of moments where we just have to go for the discard. We also have, like, Surveil on the Consider, too. Okay, I talked myself into it, huh? And don't forget, we have the discard on the bottom ability on 3 steps ahead as well. All right. Let's go all 4 Bitter Triumphs. I think removal is so incredibly important all the time anyways, that makes more sense than all 4 Champion of the Perished. And then still having a couple Champion of the Perished to kind of pop off with our zombie theme is still pretty good overall. with 3 steps ahead here, we want to kind of, it's awkward, but we want to kind of consider these 3 mana cards like 2 mana cards only we're reanimating them, or for that matter, sometimes 1 mana cards when we're reanimating them with the helping hand too. So yeah, I kind of rearranged this in a messy order, huh? Let's take one more look here at the brand spanking new mini reanimator with the 4 bitter triumphs too. I like that. And then as far as like the recommission call a surprise witness balance, that can be your balance of choice for sure. Same concept with the helping hand, although I do think the 4 helping hands is going to be excellent in here regardless of the creatures coming back tapped, especially when you're trying to do multiple things on the same turn anyways. Striking a bigger balance with more blue could be good, but I mean, this is all the mana that runs blue. This is all the mana that doesn't run blue. So I think we'll be fine having multiple blue sources on the board at any given time. Okay, guys, hey, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. Definitely check out that description where we got that Discord link as well as that Patreon link if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. Let me know what you thought of the deck list down in the comments. I really, really enjoy Mini Reanimator. I thought it was going to do a lot more today. Of course, I stayed true to the deck list, and I believed in it, and we got there at the end. And honestly, I think if we played more, I think we could continue to get that win rate up too. But yeah. All right. Hey, I will see you in the next video.